Things are about to get real.
Yeah, things are gonna get weird. Locker room weird.
You guys gotta hold it together, man.
For your wife's sake.
Recorded live at Super Training Gym in Sacramento, California. This is Mark Bell's PowerCast, sponsored by thepowermagazine.com, howmuchyourbench.net, and BSN, makers of NO. Look for BSN products at bodybuilder.com, alongside Silent Mike and Jim McDonald.
You got him on the tan. Mark, you look pale as shit. You know who really wins? I win. My tricep goes on for infinite. It got cut out of the picture. You don't know how big my tricep might be. It could be 30 inches.
Could be Eric Spoto-like.
I need to start wearing bigger shorts because your quads look huge.
Yeah, baggy. These are like the MC Hammer shorts.
Damn it.
Did you get out angled?
No, you got out angled and out tanned by Danny, but I got the infinite tricep picture.
I win because my tank top's covering my junk, so you can't see how tiny it is.
How low does your tank top have to hang to cover your junk?
Not very low.
It's actually a crop top.
It's just a little bit below your belly button.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to this argument of pornography that we were discussing earlier.
Damn,
Dan,
right to it?
We started
right to it, right to
we
it.
started talking about granny porn for a second, and then Danny
We'll tell
got
our
all
granny
excited.
porn story.
So
No warm up, no nothing, no
right
lube.
No,
to
there's
it,
no
right to
intro.
it, Right to it.
Just
No, right to the
right in.
I've heard I heard somebody once say they just go right for the butthole.
Straight to the butthole.
They don't even go to reach down the front of the pants. They reach down the back, and they go right to the back door.
Hi, Mom.
I'm not sure how many years ago this was, but we're having a discussion. You know, who do you watch when you watch porn? What type of porn do you watch? Like,
This is
scared to
foul,
watch
by the
that
way,
stuff.
Yeah.
and I don't approve
Yeah, you guys are
of any of
gross.
this. You guys are fucking disgusting.
And
Fucking married, dude.
There may be
let me
kids
tell the
listening.
story. So Joseph, I was asking Joseph, and I know he's a sexual person. He enjoys stuff like that, and I was really interested to hear what he had to say.
Kind of
And
blaming Joseph. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, like how
He
you
broke
push
it down to me, and he told me the best type of porn and why. And he told me.
What did you say, though?
He tried to convince me. He tried to convince me that tranny porn was the best porn. And right off the bat, I was like, I don't even want to listen to this. And he was like, just hear me out, hear me out. He has some valid points.
I do.
He has some valid points.
I don't
Let's
watch
hear your
it.
argument. Let's hear your argument.
Danny can say.
Well, his valid point is it's a hot girl, but she has junk. So it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah. You're going to look at junk anyway. You know what I mean? Would you rather see freaking...
Are you talking to me or the people
gonna-
listening?
if you're
I'm
watching
looking
Doctor-
at junk.
He's
I'm
talking
looking to-
directly
I'm
to you,
talking
you
to
fucking
everybody.
sicko.
I'm talking to everybody.
He looked right in your
He's
eyes.
talking to the world.
I'm
When
looking
you're
at
watching
junk.
the
All right,
porn,
I'm looking at
You're
junk.
going to see junk anyway.
Might as well have
And
boobs
it's
attached.
on some dude with a fucking beard and a slick back hair or whatever.
Typically, he's jacked,
Might as well
though.
have boobs on it if you're going to see that junk anyway.
What about
You know what I mean?
girl-on-girl porn? I believe I won't see junk.
Yeah, but
But
you
you
kind of
don't- I don't
enjoy
really watch
seeing
Girl on
a girl. You
Me
enjoy
or people again? Can we define? I enjoy the junk.
I don't really watch Girl and Girl. I need the junk. You know what I mean? Like, you need to see it. You need to be able to relate.
Insert.
Yeah, we were talking
you need
one
to
day.
insert.
We were talking one day in here about porn, and I
Gross.
was telling I don't know how it came up,
Powerlifters.
and I was telling the other guys, I'm like, you guys, I know how it is with you guys because we're all the same. You see big dick, there's big tits, there's like all these different categories. There's anal, right? There's all these different blowjobs, right? Big dicks. Who's clicking on the big dicks? The fucking dudes. Fucking admit it.
You know what we heard? Detroit, our gym manager back here, told us the best day of his life, I believe, is when he saw an African-American porn star with a small wiener.
Yeah,
he thought he won the world. He said he clapped and jumped up and down.
That day.
Do you guys have a link?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a link?
Link
somewhere?
There's probably absolutely no proof that ever happened.
What is
Yeah.
I-
Yeah,
What was
big
his
dicks.
name?
You can't click on it fast enough.
He was
Holy
probably
fucking
Puerto
kidding.
Rican. He wasn't even black.
Yeah.
Disguised.
Yeah. That's a good. That's a good point. We had Treston Sholin here, one of the most disgusting people to ever walk through Super Training
Walked
Gym.
on the planet.
Yeah, pretty much. And he said he was trying to fucking get off one day. He was masturbating, doing his thing. He's watching porn after porn after porn. He clicks on Train, and boom, he's done. So your case
Rest my case.
in this.
That's the grossest man about the porn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The tranny train put him over the top.
Takes it to another level.
He
dude.
saved it and everything.
Yeah.
Bookmarked it. He was ready to go.
Also, going back, I didn't say it was the best porn. I'm going to watch a guy and a girl every day. But Danny, he left this part out because it was about him, said that he likes to watch granny porn, and it's been doing it for him. Old
Wow.
ladies.
Hey,
Granny.
now. How
I
old?
said, hey.
No. Rewind.
You did.
I didn't say I was watching it. I said I clicked on
You
it and I
liked
checked
it,
it out.
and you
I'll
liked
tell
it.
you. I'll tell you my
Investigation
Like it.
purposes only.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'll-
then from there, what I said is, hey, obviously, I'm going to go and watch normal porn all the time. But if I'm going to get stupid, I'm not going to watch an old lady. I'm going to watch some, like, I would rather watch tranny than old lady, is basically where it came to. I'd rather watch guy and girl.
Vote below. Tweet us.
Yeah.
Tweet us your answers.
He's
Yeah.
lying because I'll tell you right now what my favorite porn is, and it's usually casting couch. I like
the old
watching that,
casting
you know,
couch, yeah.
you kind of like talk to him a little bit. There's a proposition.
This
She
could
tells you
turn
a
into
little bit
casting
about-
couch right here. POV casting couch. Here we go.
Actually, I gotta go. I just got a text.
Running out of
I have nothing
time.
to do tonight.
I'm sticking around forever.
I'm never gonna leave
Love
this
this
place.
Well, what the fuck would happen if, like, the same person was good at porn and could act? Because that never seems to happen in the same person.
I think that's Kim Kardashian or something. You get some celebrity porn going on.
I don't know, but really,
I don't know. Kim Kardashian's fine.
I don't think she'll like convincing us herself. Let
I
alone.
think a lot of the girls are actually acting and good at porn. Which is
Sasha
weird,
Grey,
right?
she's made her way into
Hey,
Hollywood.
these ladies are talented. Let's face it.
I think they put on more of a show than they probably would in the real.
Well, you figure they start off in college, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
all
yeah.
in college.
Yep.
I'm talking about the scenes leading up to the fucking not how well
like
they
the dialogue. And
Yes,
shit.
the dialogue.
Oh yeah.
I blame the story
Could be-
writer, not the actors.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be the writer.
Yeah.
You gotta blame the director.
Yeah,
writer.
who else other than Sasha Grey has transcended? Tracy Lords back in the day. Transcended. So
Well, there's
Trannies.
two real actresses on the movie Boogie Nights. There's two real porn stars.
Yeah.
You guys are
that
professionals.
are in
You guys been
Your
keeping
knowledge,
tabs.
yeah.
Dude, I'm pissed. I'm actually pissed because I forgot the name. But there's two porn stars. The one guy, Little Bill's wife, who fucks everything, and then he shoots himself.
Never seen it.
She's a real. Dude,
I know.
Come on.
You've never
I'm the worst with all this stuff. They kill me all the time.
Yeah.
So she's a real porn star, and then
don't run another podcast till you watch that.
yeah, for real. And then we'll talk
Until
about
he's
it.
more well informed about what's
Yeah.
going on in the fucking world, right?
Yeah. So there's two porn stars in there. They seem to pull it off. Sasha Grey has some stuff. I've seen a porn star in a random ass commercial like
You guys-
Sugar.com.
Sasha
and
Grey
shit.
did that movie, but she was also really good in. I thought she was good in Entourage. I mean, she played herself,
yeah.
but
You guys are deep. You guys thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
Sasha Grey from Sacramento as well.
also from
Yeah.
Sacramento.
Damn! Shout out Sacramento.
we got to get her on the show.
God damn.
That would
We
be
need to
terrible.
We need to work on that.
Sacramento.
Well, I got a number. I could just text her right now.
Okay.
Yeah, hit her up. Hit her up over there. Last call.
Yeah.
How'd you get the name Last Call? What do we got? What do we got going on with that?
I used to party a lot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you were hanging out till the last call.
Yeah, basically. And then in college, the next day, we'd get up and run 6 a.m., run a 4-mile run, and I'd always be able to do that.
You were
even
still
being
there?
still drunk. So the name kind of just carried on.
You had to give some of that up to take it to the next level with fighting.
Yeah, I quit drinking 3 years ago.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
That's really cool.
Joseph was one of my inspirations, actually. Not to get all sappy going from porn to sobriety, but
From
seeing,
porn to sobriety, only on the PowerCast.
but
We
seeing
got duality here on this podcast.
seeing him make those changes, and I was like, that's what I wanted, and it's been good.
You were thinking if he could quit porn, I could stop fucking drinking.
Oh yeah, I was talking about porn now.
But he's still watching porn, probably. You're supposed to be getting married.
I'm engaged.
Well, you're
What are you talking
engaged.
about? I never watch porn.
You set a date and
That's
everything
gross.
to
That's
get
for
married.
losers. I got the real thing.
Yeah, that's gross. What's wrong with you?
But like we said, that was back in the day when we were talking about
Oh,
porn.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
back
was
then.
10, 15 years ago. at
Preface
least.
that. Thanks, Danny.
At least.
Good looking out.
Good old fist pound.
Oh yeah,
So you guys just got done with a training session. You have a fight coming up.
I do.
Who you
2
fighting?
weeks. 2 weeks. I'm fighting a guy, John Moraga. UFC 187.
It's John
Big.
Moraga. If you're
Yep.
listening to this, you're fucking done, buddy.
Never walk again.
You're fucking done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it'd be
All
nice.
wrestling promo on him.
Big card UFC 187. I'll be repping the slingshot, Mark Bell slingshot for the support. Came in, got a workout at this awesome gym today. Came with Amadeo, our strength trainer.
Do you know
Taco
Amadeo's-
truck.
Yeah,
Oh.
do you know his nickname?
Taco truck?
Taco
Taco.
truck.
Is that
yeah.
really the
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest Mexican on the planet.
He is a fucking giant Mexican, right?
He's a big dude,
It's
isn't
like
he?
fucking Desperado. Said I told him he was the biggest Mexican I've ever seen. That's
What's-
fucking Amadeo.
Yeah.
Taco truck.
He's a big man.
What's been some of the changes you guys starting to train with him? Were you guys doing regular strength training before you met Amadeo?
Probably
what?
the nickname. Because it's Coach Mumbles for us.
Yeah.
Coach
yeah,
Mumbles.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the podcast.
Yeah.
7 sets of 3.
That-
like what?
Yeah.
7 sets of what? 7 sets of 3. I'm like,
I call him Amageo too. He doesn't appreciate that.
Well, he's
all
so
fucking
far
day.
away, and he mumbles, because
Yeah.
he's so
Yeah.
tall, he can't.
Well,
The sound rises. and-
Well, that's what was amazing about having him on the podcast because it was real spontaneous. We happened to be here one day and he said, "Hey, we need to
He
do
was
an
great.
episode." Yeah, and he was awesome, and I was
Hell
pretty.
yeah.
We could understand him. He was articulate. It's like I was afraid. I was like, I'm going to be
Right.
on the thing the whole time, trying to keep the level up, and he didn't mumble.
maybe we'll take a fake mic into the gym.
And there you go.
And just be like, what's the
Just
rep
speaks
count?
perfectly.
Yeah.
And he just comes out.
Stick it into his face. What's been some
Wait,
of the
what?
changes for you guys?
What'd you just say?
Stick it in his face. Why not?
It's an everyday
You're all
occurrence.
friends.
Yeah.
What's been some of the changes, training with Amadeo?
For me, he was my first strength trainer. So, I mean, there was obviously a change from having no strength trainer
Right.
to going with him. But, I mean, I've just felt so great and confident in my performances and what he's been doing for me that, I've never had to change it. But the change from from not having one to having one was kind of everything for me. It's a whole new aspect of fighting. Like, I was fighting at a higher weight class, and I lost my first fight, and I was just like, fuck. I was literally walking around at what I was fighting at, 135.
Right.
I was tiny back then, fighting at a higher weight class, not cutting any weight. I lost, and I was like, all right, the guy, I don't think he was really better than me. He was just, I could feel the size and the leverage. And, the guy's cutting from 60. I'm walking at 35 every day. Decided to go and just start doing some strength training, adding in that, part of it. Because before you just think, I can just fight and go in there and
Right.
do everything. But you always got to start adding these things, especially, me and Danny being veterans now, you're always adding things and making adjustments and stuff. So that was about 6 or 7 years ago. I think Danny was already using him. So, and Danny was one of the strongest guys I'd ever went with. Like, the guy's just a freaking bulldozer on top. And it was just like, hey, that's the right thing to do. And since then,
Danny likes to be on top.
Huh?
Bulldoze.
He likes to be bulldoze,
Switch it up.
kind of pile drive, plow.
Switch it up.
We use the word
Slam.
plow.
Slam.
Slam.
69. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of strength coached wrestling in college, junior college, and then the 4-year level. And I started working out with him, and he was actually, it was like his first week at Midtown.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even a trainer there. He was just got out of football, and he was doing some kind of, Camilo had us do some sandbag stuff, and it was just him and I, and then I started seeing him training. The thing that I like about him the most is his willingness to learn. Like, he's always studying, he's always up on the new stuff, and I'll see something come to him and he's like, oh, that's that's Dan John, or that's Chip,
Yeah.
or he knows exactly what's going on, and I respect that the most, and that gives me the complete and utmost confidence in him. So if he tells me to run through a wall, then it's going to suck, but I'm going to try to do it because I believe that I'll go through that wall with his confidence. And just the evolution. His gym is sick. I mean, this gym is sick also, but he's got a great gym too, and he put that all together from the bottom all the way up till now. And they gave us a membership at one of the local gyms to go lift weights. I went in there and I don't even know what to do. If I'm not lifting with my boys and talking shit and slapping ass and grab ass and all that, what am I going to do? Like, some shoulders?
You can't just go grab some old man's dick.
Yeah.
When he's lifting.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a little weird. It's a little weird at first, but then you get to know him, and then it's not as weird. But
Sounds like 24 downtown.
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about. Yeah, actually, you've been there.
Shoot hoops, maybe. Is the
Hey,
next
we've
best thing.
all been there.
Right? Shooting hoops is the next big thing, but now Amadeo threw in a freaking basketball hoop at his gym. That's all we need.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now we just
We
shoot
gotta
hoops
go.
there.
It's adjustable.
Can he
Oh,
dunk?
I think he probably can. That
Yeah,
guy
he's
can
just so
fucking
tall.
move for being
Yeah,
so
he
big. Like,
can
you
move.
think you can, like, a guy's over there open, his first step is just like, it's so fucking fast the way he covers ground. It's crazy. And it's like another thing, touching off Danny, what he was saying about just believing in what he's saying, like, that's huge for a coach. Like, you got to believe in what they're doing. Like, they can be showing you the best techniques and the best this, but if you don't believe in them and it's going in one ear out the other and you don't have the utmost confidence in it, what he's doing, then it's like, then the techniques don't matter. But if a coach is showing maybe, like, I'm saying even like an MMA coach, maybe not showing great techniques, but you have that belief in it, you're going to go in there with confidence and everything, you know what I mean? So, you know, with him, we have the best the best of both worlds where we believe in it, we're getting the best techniques, and that's just huge to look in the corner and know, like, I fucking believe in that guy, what he says, he has my back, he's there for me, and that's how I feel about Amadeo as well.
Yeah, it helps a lot that he's a former athlete too.
Yeah.
You know, he's not just some guy preaching to you. He played football on a pretty high level.
Just
And
San Jose
he's-
State.
Yeah, he's legit. How'd you get into fighting? We'll start with you, Joseph.
Shit, man. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know how I got into it, but you know what I mean? It's like you just feel like, hey, that was my only choice. You know, that was
Right.
how it was going to be for forever. You know, even as a kid, I always thought I was fucking Van Damme. I actually thought Van Damme was my uncle because my aunt lied to me. And I told everybody at school, and, like, I would go to school and, like, do splits on the chairs, and they'd be like, why are you doing that? Like, Van Damme's my uncle. And they're just like, all right, dude. And then, like, comes out. Like,
You were the crazy kid in class.
Yeah, like, I was doing splits in the playground and shit, like, not talking to anyone, like. And then
All ninja
2
and
years
shit.
later, it came out. Obviously, he wasn't my uncle. So my friends that went to elementary with me still give me shit, like, when I, like, if he's on TV, like, hey, there's Joe's uncle. I'm like, fuck.
So you're doing splits instead of playing like t-ball or dodgeball. And
Yeah, like on the chairs and shit. Yeah. And, like, always, like, grew up with a big family and, like, cousins, 2 brothers. So we were always just fighting and, you know, putting on boxing gloves when our parents weren't there, going out on the trampoline and throwing each other around. So it was always something I was obviously into. And, you know, of
People
course,
pick on you at all when you were a kid?
you know, not too much. I mean, I had an older brother and stuff,
Yeah, he
and we
talked a
all,
lot of shit, I
yeah,
bet.
and we had cousins and shit. But so everyone just kind of picked on each other. We always just messed with each other, and then, you know, getting going in and growing up more in, like, high school and stuff. Yeah, you know, guys are gonna give you shit because, you know, I'm a nice guy. I'm a little smaller. You know, this, that, whatever. So it was never to the point where it was bad because I don't feel like I'm a confrontational person and I can kind of brush stuff off. But, you know, guys would try to take shots at me or whatever. But you know, I think I just had the confidence where I could just brush it off. But you know, obviously, like, I always, like, moving forward wanted to, like, do football or some shit. And then I realized, hey, like, I'm way too small for that.
Right.
Took up wrestling because it was like, you know, that's with weight class. I'm going to go against guys my own size. And then I just love the competition factor of it, of just it being only me. Like, I was the only one out there, you know, to blame, win or lose, and just the individuality of it and just the raw, like, competition of it. So that was my first, you know, combat sport.
Was there a moment where someone maybe mentioned it to you, like, hey, you should think about doing some MMA, some UFC, or somebody say something like that to you, or did you get into a fight and whoop someone's ass and
Yeah.
you're like, hey, I'm pretty good at this?
I'd beat some ass quite a bit of times, and I just always watched UFC. You know, like, if I had gotten in a fight, I would normally win, you know, with the wrestling and whatever. I just liked it. But I would always watch UFC.
What a bully.
Right? No way, no way. And I would watch UFC already because I loved it. You know, like, me and my brothers actually would, like, rent the videos and everything. And then as far as, like, starting MMA, I was actually working at a t-shirt shop, printing t-shirts, and a guy goes in to print some stuff for his fight and his kid that's fighting. And they said, hey, you know, you're a wrestler, right? You're, like, state champion or whatever. I'm just printing their t-shirts. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, me and my son, you know, he has a fight. He's a kickboxer. He's training. You know, he does jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. I was like, oh, I love UFC. It's so cool. And he's just like, if you ever want to come train with us and teach us some wrestling, it would be sweet. And they just literally had mats in a little rec center. Started doing it there. They introduced me to another gym where there was more people, and I just kind of started to, like, fight from there and train with more people. And, you know, at first it was my hobby. And, you know, like you guys know, you know, you obviously want to turn that hobby into, you know, your passion, into your career. So from the beginning, I was like, always like, this is what I want to do. And at that time, like, Ultimate Fighter 1 was on TV. So, you know, you automatically see people on TV and, you know, like, they're rich. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those guys are making money when they weren't. That,
Right.
like for sure, they were like locked in a house. But you're like, oh, they're on TV. They're making money. That'd be so cool to make this and that. So at that point, that gave me the confidence. Also, you know, like especially seeing that first Forrest Griffin and Bonner fight, I was like, this is like something I can really do. So I obviously wanted to turn that
fight
passion.
was sick.
Yeah, dude.
That fight was so
groundbreaking.
amazing.
Yeah, even for me, like it sounds cliche because everyone like it changed everyone for MMA, but it was just like, dude, like that, like I can do that because you see those guys doing that on TV and you're like, it's a real job, you know. So just always wanted to turn my passion, you know, into a job, and you know, kept fighting in New Mexico. Realized I probably destined for a little more, and came out to California, and I actually met Urijah Faber on a whim, trained with him, and he's like, dude, like you need to just go pro and like, you know, give it your only shot. I had nothing holding me back. So,
But it was kind of destiny because his flight got canceled.
My flight got canceled.
He didn't meet Urijah. His whole purpose, he came to Sacramento to visit friends and meet Urijah, but he didn't meet him, and his flight got canceled, so he had
then
to
I
stay.
met him the next day.
Did Urijah already have alpha male and all that set up at the time? Or
Not
he was just
necessarily
kind of here
alpha male,
training?
He just kind of had his
Capital
the gym had
Fight
just
Alliance.
started.
Yeah, he's from the area, yeah. So
He's from Lincoln.
yeah,
Yeah.
close-ish.
Yeah.
So he just kind of was here training
Yeah,
himself.
well, his gym had just started. That was the other thing is I was coming to visit my friends, and he had just opened up Ultimate Fitness in Midtown, so it wasn't in the phone book or anything. So I was just like, oh, where can I train around here? Where can I train? I was calling people if they did MMA and if they knew where Urijah trained. Finally went to train at another place and kind of whipped up on some dudes, and they're just like, dude, we got nothing for you. Like, you should go check out Urijah. I was like, does he have a gym? Like, I've been looking for the guy to train here
Yeah.
while I was here. So I ended up meeting
So you're
there.
stalking him.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. My friend had to go to work, and I didn't know what else to do. And I was like I said, I was just trying to I was trying to.
Was Urijah the champ at that time already?
He was the champ
Yeah.
of
WEC or
WC, actually, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, that was the best organization in the world for guys our weight class. So
Right.
You just
going
knew you had to
there-
be around the best to be
exactly.
the best.
Going there and train with the best guy in the world, and for him to tell me, like, hey, dude, like, you could, do good at this. Like, if you can train full time and move over here, I'll help you out. We'll do what we got to do. Like, this is going to be a good home for pros in the future. And I was like, that's awesome. So to see kind of what it's flourished to, and, like, be one of the first guys to actually, have the confidence to move there and believe in, like, everything that's going on there, and just see what it's come to now is Team Alpha Male. Now we're, like, two-time best gym in the world the last 2 years running. And
That's
it's
funny
pretty
you told
awesome,
him that
man.
because he told me the same thing, and I think he tells everyone the same thing.
Yeah, he told me that.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
never
you'll
even
be
punched
good. Come on.
anybody. Yeah.
We're gonna be silent mic in there. You'll be perfect, man. You'll be perfect for it. Cut you down a little bit.
What is some of your family and friends when you're now it's different. It is your career.
Yeah.
You basically made it part of your career and your lifestyle and everything. But like in the beginning, what did mom and dad and some of your friends and stuff think, brothers and stuff like that?
Dude, they love it, man. Like, my family's awesome. They just couldn't be more proud, of, like, whatever I'm doing. So they were proud of me when I was really doing nothing, and were very supportive no matter what. Like, I wasn't doing anything, but, like, they were just proud that, I was, like, related to them and, like,
Right. That's
whatever.
cool.
So,
Proud that you were doing something that you liked.
yeah, exactly. So, like, now, I mean, it's just huge. Like, my family's the most supportive. Like, I fly my mom. Danny knows because our moms have been to multiple fights together. We get our mom at both fights because it's just important, to have them there. And my whole family loves it. It's usually a family affair. Got my brothers going in for every fight, and my whole family just supports me huge in New Mexico and San Antonio. So they never, I feel like anything I would have done, they would have supported me. And, if anything, they're not going to support me of it. Might be like fighting or something, but, they were already used to kind of the combat and stuff from wrestling. So my mom took it in real, easy. She loved it. She loves it. Like, she sits
That's
there
cool.
and yells and screams. Like, she's like the only voice in the crowd I can hear besides my coach. So
That's
it's
what does
crazy.
it for me is when after you're done and you get your 2 checks and you see the doctor and all that other stuff, you celebrate with your teammates, and then you see your mom. And she's sitting there. I mean, we have small, short moms, and they're just smiling, have just the best smile. And that's like priceless. Like, I mean, they're getting up there in pay, and we've been around for a long time and signing autographs and groupie fans and all that stuff.
Right.
But none of that really matters at the end of the day. Like, seeing your mom ultimately the happiest she's ever been because she's proud of you is just priceless.
That's so cool.
Not to get super sappy.
It's
or
like
anything,
proving to them that, like, they got through to you, you know, and they did stuff right.
All
and
their
they told you,
sacrifices paid off.
all that stuff. So it's sweet. And then, you know, just even going down from there, you know, just with cousins and family and friends and everything. So everyone's always super supportive of me, even when I was you know, even when I was a freaking deadbeat, you know, they were proud of me. So now they love it. It's great.
It's like when you win the Super Bowl and you do that parade. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same way. That week you come back from a fight, you got to see this group of friends, you got to see that group of friends, you got to drop in the gym, walk around with your chest all out, like, yeah, everyone's like high-fiving you.
That's cool.
You know, that's the best.
What was your start, Danny? How did you get started?
So
in all
the
this?
same thing happened. Uriah's like, oh, you'll be perfect for this.
You guys knew each other for a
Nah,
long time.
yeah, so
though.
I grew up from Sacramento. I'm from Sacramento. I went to high school at Laguna Creek. But in the off-season of wrestling, they had a Sacramento Area Wrestling Association. And Urijah was on the all-star team every year, so was I. And we would travel, like, up and down the California wrestling all these all-star teams. So him and I go back forever, and we were camp counselors when he went to Davis. I went to a small school in the Bay Area, Menlo College.
I didn't know you went to Menlo. I had a bunch of friends that went to Menlo.
Yeah, I
Nice
went there.
campus, nice area.
Yeah, it's super expensive. It's good. I mean, people go to college to graduate and learn stuff. I went to college to wrestle,
Yeah.
just to keep it real. I mean, that's the reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being honest. I mean,
Schools for fools.
so
Yeah.
So
Drop
when I
out of
was-
school, kids.
after college was done, you know, wrestling was done. You don't make any money. I mean, after college wrestling is done, you either wrestle in the Olympics or that's it. So, I mean, MMA has gave so many wrestlers the opportunity to make money, which is awesome. I ended up getting a desk job, working sales, and I hated it.
Nerd.
I hated it. I was sitting behind the desk, making good money though. It was you know, I was getting salary in the Bay Area, full 401k, dental, vision, and Uriah found me on MySpace. That's how long ago it was.
MySpace.
So we're going back.
He's
and
like,
forth
this
on-
dude's hot.
What was your profile song?
I can't even
Always
remember.
switching it up?
I can't remember. Yeah,
Sick.
I think it had a bunch of songs that rotated.
I could see Bobby Brown, My Prerogative.
It wasn't that old, dude. It wasn't that old.
It's weird.
So after 4 years in college, I took a couple years off in between. I was working a desk job. He invited me back home to Sacramento. He's like, yeah, you got to check out the gym. I went to his gym. He was fighting on TV. He's the world champ. He's like, come to my house. He had 3 houses. I was like, you really got all this from fighting? Like, so early in the game? So then I was sold. I was just like, yeah, man, that's crazy. I went back home and to the Bay Area, still working. They brought a consultant, changed my salary and commission scale, blah, blah, blah. I talked to my mom, and she's just like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it. So my situation's a lot different than everyone else's because when I started, I was 28. So I was already a little bit older than all these other guys. Like, what are you right now, Joe?
30.
So 2 years ago, you know, is when I started. So I got a late start, and I was right into it. I moved back home. I lived in my friend's couch for like couple weeks, 6 weeks, and then finally had my first fight. Like, I trained for 6 weeks, and I was like, you're ready, you know, just take a fight. Took the fight. I won the fight. 6 weeks, I kept fighting. They kept keeping me really active, and next thing I know, I was 5-0 with 5 finishes. The game has changed, but back then, if you were a really tough wrestler, it didn't evolve that much. That wrestlers were the popular ones, the ones winning, the Matt Hughes, the GSPs. So I was already there, and then I got the call, won my 5th fight, and then 2 weeks the UFC was coming to the WC was coming to Sacramento. Some guy got hurt. They offered me the fight. I was at the bar at the time celebrating the win that I won the last week, and they were just like, yeah, you have to make 155. They'll sign you
True, last call for
5-fight deal. So I finished the picture, and went home and ran about 6 miles to try to get that weight off. And 5 days later, I fought. And, I fought one of the best guys in the world right now, which was Donald Cerrone. It was just way out of my league. 8 months of training, and then I was already on
He's
the
the
big
cowboy,
show.
right?
Yeah, the cowboy. Already in the big show. I was fighting on TV in my hometown. Arco was sold out. So I just kind of like, what the hell? I could walk out there. I was just like, this is the craziest thing ever. I took him down, hit him a couple times, caught me in the arm bar, and then 22 fights later, I've been up and down. My career's been kind of crazy. I've been on the verge of breakout, then have a couple lost, then come back. So our situations are a little bit different, but it's not different because we still have the same love and passion for the sport, and we're brothers now. I mean,
That's what you guys mentioned earlier, that you feel you're one of the tightest teams in the world, and you guys hang out together and do everything together. What's that like, having guys that are going through the pain and the grind with you every single day?
We just meant tightest asses.
Oh,
Hey now.
So what's it like to?
Yeah.
I don't feel like there was a perverted joke. It went too long of being serious, so we had to throw it out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel we're definitely have probably the best camaraderie of any team. Like, we have people traveling from all around the world to come and visit and train, and these guys come in and they feel like a team. We're doing team barbecues, and everyone's just always doing stuff together. Like, I couldn't imagine my life. Like, Danny's from here in California and everything in New Faber, but like, I couldn't imagine my life not knowing Danny. Like, is part of my life. Like, if I would have just stayed in New Mexico, or like Chad or Lance or Urijah or any of the guys, like, that's my life. Like, and like most of us, it's our family, because a lot of us are implants here from somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm from New Mexico. We got guys from Alaska, Hawaii. Lance, who lives with me, is from Ohio. So when you come out here, these are the guys and spend all your time with. I
mean, if you think about
following
that, going
dreams.
somewhere else, like 3 states away, and not knowing anyone, just a couple guys that you live with, and then all of a sudden Christmas comes around, and you're like, "Fuck, I don't have enough money to go home," and you're like, "What am I gonna do?" And then you have your buddies who you live with that like, "Come on over, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna kick it," and then. That's like, we have people that pay thousands of dollars a week to train, and we get to live that life like every day. And it's because we're so close. I just came back from Mexico on vacation, and I was just like, man, I'm going to dread it. But my first day back, I wrestled, my tan rubbed off, I was in my own home, and I was just like, man, I can't really complain. Like, I've had some ups and downs, but I'm a happy dude, man. We're really fortunate to be in this situation.
I feel that has a lot to do with our success too. Is just like, everyone is kind of such a family and wants the best for each other, that it gives you that much more of a chance succeeding when like this whole group of people are trying to make you succeed and care about what you're doing, rather than a bunch of people competing against each other, which I feel and I've heard what a lot of teams are. They're not that close. Everyone's kind of in there individually.
What happens if someone's negative or someone's just really down? You guys just pick them up, or
Probably just
kick
make
their
fun
ass?
of them.
Yeah, talk shit.
Let 'em know,
Let's
Especially
cry
this
about
guy.
losing a fight and not getting money. Like, shut up.
right,
What are you talking about?
You last one fight, I got knocked down in front of my hometown. Title fight. Like, shut up. It's part of the game.
In front of the whole world. You
Little
lost a little
wuss.
fight on a small show. Get the fuck up and get in the gym and
exactly.
get better. I mean, that's all it is to it.
You guys have a lot of guys
Just keeping it
in the
real.
same weight class, or maybe not a lot, but you have a few. Yeah, how does that kind of go? Like, in powerlifting,
good.
powerlifting doesn't matter, so I don't care if someone's in
Yeah.
my same weight class. It's not for money. It's not really my career, but
You're also not punching each other in the face.
yeah, like maybe it helps you train, but is there some competitive
Well, we
stuff
haven't
going
been
on?
in a situation where a guy in the same weight class has fought.
Yeah.
There's been like talks about it, but no one's ever really
Yeah,
fought
it's never
each
had
other.
to
Not
come
in
to
like a
that
real
point.
fight.
I mean, if they wanted me to fight Joseph, I mean, it'd have to be like $2 million, $1 million for me to fight Joseph. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Wow.
no reason for
You hear that,
there
Joseph?
wasn't-
That's it. That's
He,
all I'm
he can
worth.
be fucking bought out like that.
Right, dude?
Just to fight his like
You know what
best
I'm saying?
friend.
Real, dude.
Yeah,
He just put a price on
You
your
saved
friendship.
him from fucking sobriety, and that's all it's worth. Is fucking $2 million. Jesus Christ!
get what I'm saying?
All
I
these
wouldn't-
deep porn
I
conversations. That's all it's worth.
I wouldn't fight him for just regular money. It'd
Yeah,
have
but
to be
everyone's
something
kind of going for the same
significantly.
belt, yeah? At least say you're all... What's the exact weight you have to weigh in at?
25, 26.
Yeah,
flyweight.
so everyone and the one who weighs around that is all going towards the same belt.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anyone. We
In
don't
the
have another
UFC at my
25
weight,
pounder
yeah.
at the UFC.
Okay.
It used to be when
You
I
guys
was
just
at a
ruined my
higher
whole
weight. I had
story.
like the higher weights there is like when I was at 35, me and Faber were literally ranked 2 and 3 in the world.
Yeah.
And then TJ was coming up, who's the world champion now. So him and Faber,
Right.
So
how does that all go? Like,
crazy.
hey, I
It's-
want to make you better because we're teammates, but I want what
It's
you
kind of
fucking
what
have.
I said before. It's crazy that like you can see that like there's other gyms where you think of people like that. One guy might just move away and say, "Hey, that's
Yeah.
what I want." It's crazy how it works here. Everyone just kind of has that optimistic outlook of just like, "Hey, I'm gonna help this guy as much as I can. If it comes to that, we'll cross the bridge." But right now, if both guys agree we don't want to fight each other, it's a lot easier to go into the training room and know that, hey, it's not going to happen in the long run. And if it does, we'll address it. But, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. Like TJ will go and corner Faber and, they're going for the same belt
Yeah.
and training in there. And, Yeah, it's just crazy, but it's like what I said. Everyone just kind of wants the best for each other. No one's there competitively. And, if it ever did come to that point, you address it. But each time it's been addressed, it's been, hey, we're not going to fight each other. So
TJ's the champ. Urijah is a true vet, like one of the pioneers in our sport. In fact, I think that anyone from 145 pounds down owes Urijah Faber a lot of gratitude because he pretty much made that weight class with his – with his curly hair and his just
handsome
like California,
looks,
all
chiseled
that
jawline,
speaking well, like all that stuff. We have TJ Dillashaw as the champ. Uriah's third or second at 35s. We have
going
Cody,
up to 45 now for
we
the
have
super
Cody
fight.
No Love.
Is Cody the kid with the necktie?
Yeah,
that was a good fight.
But we also have Chris Holdsworth, who won the Ultimate Fighter, and that's 4 guys that could fight at any given time. But like I said, it's got to be like a stupid amount of money.
Can they just tell the UFC no?
You can, but the UFC, I'm not going to. That's my paycheck, so I'm not really going to say anything about the UFC. The UFC's great.
Yeah.
You guys have, a leader like Urijah Faber. Obviously there's tons you can learn from him, in the cage, and there's tons you can learn from grappling and so on and so forth. What do you guys learn from him outside the gym?
And maybe like business-wise.
Oh, yeah. Well, Danny, probably more so than me. Danny now has a thriving Pilates studio, best in Sacramento.
You can plug it. What's the name?
Yeah, it's P2O Hot Pilates and Fitness. It's on P and 20th, and we've been open for 2 years. I'm opening my second location in September. So the thing I took away from him is not so much the business savvy guy that he is. It's just him being so damn positive. It's just like, dude, sometimes you just want to be angry, fuck, this day sucks. Like, fuck this day. Like, fuck everyone around
sucked.
me.
He's like, I felt fucking good.
I felt great. Like, what? You just got your ass whipped.
got
And
your
he's just
ass
like,
whipped.
I don't
I
know
saw
about
you
you
get-
guys.
yeah.
I feel good. And it's just like, what the hell? But I think that's what you need. And
Yeah,
there's
just
been a
his
couple
optimism.
times where, I've lost 2 fights in a row, and he's just told me it's about peaks and valleys, man. You're going to come down, and then you're going to come up. That's life.
It's really cool when someone has that kind of energy. You have that positive energy, all the time.
Yeah, and it's exactly like me, and just like, shut up, Faber, and him just kind of like laugh at me.
The guy's
You're the one that's
mentality-
pissed off. I'm happy, like, it's just insane.
The guy's
infectious.
mentality for the fight game is just perfect. Just his positivity and just
Doesn't
kind of-
bitch about getting paid, although he
Yeah.
probably should get paid 3 times the amount of he is because how much he's worth. And he's just like, that's how it is.
Yeah,
if
you'll
anything,
never
I'll get a
hear
bonus.
Faber. You'll never hear him complain. He's always just optimistic and positive. And you have to be. Fighting's already so fucking hard and up and down and heartbreaking that, like, all you can do is be positive. You can't, like, give in and get mad at it because it's already a hard place, to thrive in. So it's a lot of that for me. And when I met Urijah initially, I knew he was a pretty good businessman and everything and, was going to do stuff just the way he talked. But, like, when I met him, I knew I could train with him and be good, and he was the next best guy. But I also knew I could just tell just by the way he presented himself and his attitude and everything that, like, I think I can learn a lot more from this guy, besides him being the best guy in the world. And yeah, man, he's just such a good role model as far as just his attitude, and attitude's everything. In the world, even for his business and stuff, he has it's a positive attitude.
When you guys first met him, I'm sure you already had a work ethic in wrestling, and you had a certain attitude going into like fighting. But when you guys met him and were around him more often, where you're like, holy shit, man, this is kind of like some next level shit that I need to kind of get on board with myself. I need to work just as hard as he's working if I want to. Or you guys just kind of had that work ethic from day one?
Well, I've known him since we were 13, 14
Oh, okay,
years
you've
old.
known him for a long
So
time.
we'd be in buses vans for 8 hours at a time. So it's not like Urijah Faber, the California kid. It's just like, just Faber, that he's not anything. Like, he's not a god like he is to some of these other people.
Right.
But further down the line and just seeing all the stuff he has his hands in movies, believe it or not, he has hands in movies. He has his hands in music, clothing line, just everything.
Soccer here in Sacramento too.
I think,
Dude, who knows?
with him,
everything.
the thing that I took away the most is not to be afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I don't have the same amount of money he is, so if I were to go into a business deal, I got to make sure that it's going to be a little bit better than someone who has a ton of money like him. But it's like, you can't be afraid to you can't be afraid to lose or to take a step down or, you know, because that's the only way. I mean, scared money doesn't get money, you know. So you just got to, and that's one thing that I
think it's a rap song.
probably
Sounds like it.
you just kind of got to go with it. And if he's so positive that everything's going to work out. So like me, I was getting into this exercise equipment thing with some other guys, like thinking about it. And just in the back of my head, it's just like, fuck, if I put $20,000 into this company, it doesn't work. That's 20 G's, like, you know, that I could have sitting in an IRA and just doubling money.
Yeah.
So then I'm already beat. So I'm not confident about it. Uriah would be like, oh, yeah, we're going to be the biggest company in the world. And he said that. He said that. It was just three of us, Joseph, Uriah, and I. And he's like, we're going to be the best team in the world. And I'm looking around like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's three of us. We're all different weight classes. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. 5 years later, 2 times in a row, best team in the world. Clothing line. He's like, yeah, this clothing line's going to be sick. His Forum clothing line, one of the clothing line won, you know, best urban clothing line or whatever. It's doing well. He sold one clothing line to K-Swiss, and it's just like.
Wasn't he in a commercial with Kenny Powers?
Yeah.
That's the best commercial ever.
He was also in the video for Pharrell's song Happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Him and his sister. His sister got in a crazy car accident where she was on the verge of, you know, losing her life. And, you know, he was in the hospital praying and being positive. And she just got married, full recovery. It's just like everything he does is, you know, there's a reason why his hair's like that. Like the sunshine's like beaming on him all the time. It's just a California kid, man. He's just a happy dude.
You guys have any good poop stories for us? We like to talk a lot about poop.
You ever
here on the
shit
podcast.
yourself or you're wrestling somebody or something?
Is that what you texted me the other day?
Yeah.
Night poop or poop?
Yeah, poop stories. I meant to say,
I
and
was
I
like,
said something
You said
else.
night poop?
I said night poops or something.
Something about poop, but night poop stories or something. And I was like, I was waiting for him to come back and be like, oh, I meant fight stories when you were a kid or something, like something, you know, civil.
Yeah.
No, we want
You know?
a good juicy
And
poop
but he
story.
really meant that. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you talking about?
That's what the fans want.
Correcting it would mean that he actually read it again after he sent it to you, which is not going to happen.
I was just like, and then I
Said
think
that's
I
it.
even wrote back. After like 10 minutes,
That's pretty true.
he didn't put anything, so I was just like, I'm not sure what poop story means. All right.
You're the worst.
Weirdo.
You're the worst sponsor ever.
All right, weird guy. Yeah. But
If I'm going to sponsor you, you're going to give good poop stories.
now
That's the
that
way
I
it is.
know,
I don't have one. I got one, I guess. It's not that crazy, but there was a time when we were in the Ultimate Fighter and we were taking
it's more other guys pooping.
pictures.
That's still a poop story.
Yeah,
Taking
counts.
pictures of poop, and we would send them in a mass text.
Oh, God.
Like here,
Nice.
this is like it would be in the shape of a J. I send it to Joseph. Like, look, this turd looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a J. It's
This
Joseph.
turd I laid for you.
Thinking of you, you know.
When you're really in there with your hands molding it into a J.
Well, I use
Play-Doh.
the plunger. I use the plunger to do that.
I spelled out Danny's name in cursive once in the toilet.
That's talent.
But I was gonna send him a
That's
picture.
no gloves.
That's
Send
money
him
in
a
the bank.
picture of a poop, and I actually sent it to a girl. I was
Oh.
So long story short, I haven't talked to her ever since, and you know she'd never text me back.
She's
I thought you were gonna tell me
terrified.
you were
Yeah.
engaged.
No. But
That's amazing.
That's pretty funny. I do
That
that,
is
a lot.
funny.
I gotta.
Yeah, whoops.
I'm like I said, I just whatever and send. And
Oh.
sometimes you're in the wrong conversation. You're sending something to other people. You're just like, oops.
How
Wrong
great
window.
would that have been if she would have just been out? Ooh, I'd love that on my chest.
Or if she sent one back,
yeah, you'd be like, whoa.
I would put a ring on it right away.
She'd be like, is that for me? Save one for me. Oh, God. I guess my poop story is kind of similar. That's what I thought you were going to go with, is we had a coach, Master Tong, who you could have a whole podcast on.
Master
your own.
Dong?
Master Tong.
Well, you
The
got
guy's
other
a
poop
sicko.
stories when you're living in the box. And you're
Oh, fuck. That's a good one.
Dude, we can have two. Bring them on.
Yeah. Well, this one with Master Tong is, for one, the guy's the grossest individual ever. Like, he's a fucking Thai, you know, freaking immigrant. Like,
Right.
But
he's a terrible
he
person.
lived in the hills, and
He's
Yeah,
grungy.
Like, he's a gross person. Like, one time...
Is he not your coach anymore?
No. But even if he was, he's a terrible, gross person inside and out, right? So the guy, to show how gross the guy is, I mean, like, this is not the poop, but like the guy went, we were at a lake one time and he's literally running around trying to kill a duck, like a freaking duck with a slingshot, just chasing it up a hill. The thing's barely walking. At this point, it's just torture because he caught it, and instead of like just killing it. He's twisting its neck all the way around.
Jesus.
And he had a.
Was he gonna eat it? What was he doing?
He had a cutting board, and he was trying to crush the skull. He put the duck in a bag and started slapping it against the wall.
Everyone we were in the houseboat. Everyone to the back of the boat, to the front of the boat, because they were just like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. He's trying
Please
to
stop.
Yeah,
He has a duck in a bag, just slamming it against the deck like as hard as he can. He gets it out. The duck's still moving. He's spinning it around, and all this he did with the slingshot, making us like drive him from place to place up a hill, and to show how gross he is, he took all the feathers out of the duck and put it on the grill.
And this is just like a domestic duck that probably ate cigarette butts. Oh, it was just a
the next day we had to take him home because he was throwing up.
He ate it
all day. He ate the duck.
It smelled terrible. Sick. It was like the meat was black, and he ate it.
So this guy is that gross, and all of us are showing each other poop pictures. We show one to him, and he throws up. He's just like, and then so after that, we're like, oh, this is great. Master Tong can't take poop pics. So he'd be like, oh, Master Tong, what's this? And he would, and he would just run out, and we had to stop the car before for him to throw up just because we're showing him poop pictures. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's a good poop story.
That was a good poop story.
Master Tong.
Yeah.
I've got pictures of him.
He's a degenerate.
How about the Keystone box?
Oh, God. Back in my prime as a low-life scumbag, our toilet wouldn't work, and me and all my buddies would just shit in a box. We just shit in a Keystone Light box. And it was just there.
You didn't think about going outside or something? Dig a hole?
The box was outside.
In a hole.
Yeah. We would just all go and shit in the Keystone box. Like, it was just behind the house, and we just
Alpha male, the closest team on the planet.
Yeah, we just shit. Oh, no, these guys weren't the alpha male. We were all just degenerates.
I've never shit in a box.
We were all just degenerates
you can get
in
there.
New Mexico.
I mean,
stay
it's
positive.
not too late, dude.
You can get there.
Wow.
No, that was just when we were all degenerate low lives in New Mexico, shitting in Keystone Light boxes.
That's awesome.
That's a reason I don't drink now. 10 years. Because I used to shit in Keystone
That's
boxes.
the life.
a whole decade sober.
Yeah.
Just because he was shitting in a box.
Shifting
Amongst
gears
other
here for a second. What's it like? What's it like to lose?
It's like pretty much the lowest low you can handle because, fuck, man, you just put so much into it. You don't think about it. You don't think of fucking that's a possibility because you're training to do one thing, and then when the total opposite happens, it's crazy. It's just it just hits you with that button hook. You're just like, what? That's
well, it's all on you pretty much. I mean, with football, you can blame your shitty quarterback, or you can blame this guy or that guy, and say, the whole
Dan
team.
Marino, Ray Finkel, fucking Ray Finkel.
Finkel's Einhorn,
right?
You can blame other players and stuff, but in this instance,
it does fall on you. But I mean, this is touches home for me because I'm coming off of 2 losses. So this next fight's really important to me. It's just the fans only remember your last fight. So you're as good as your last fight. Being that I've lost 2 fights, I'm not sitting in a good position. And being in a competitive weight like the lightweight division, this is a really big fight for me because, there's cutting blocks. There's people who are trying to get in, and so with that being said, it's tough because Amadeo puts that many hours into me. So, I'm disappointed in myself. And then, I go out there and see him. He's like, oh, man, it's all right. Don't worry about it. But fuck, man, I know how much energy he's put into me. Not only him, but I got boxing coaches, strength coaches, even the masseuse. Oh, how'd your fight go? Oh, I fucking lost. She's like, oh, well, we'll get him next time.
Well, even just people you might see in the street. I mean, people know you guys. You guys are professional fighters. People say, oh, how'd it go? And you guys.
That's an uncomfortable thing too. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Saw your last fight, and you're just like, oh, yeah, and still uncomfortable silence. I'm like, it's not uncomfortable for me because I got paid. I mean, it sucks that I lost. I mean, I still got thousands of dollars, probably more than a teacher made the whole year, which is kind of fucked up because I think teachers should make a lot more money than they do. But it's not only me, but to see your friend lose, it's just as hard as seeing Joseph lose or Urijah lose as it is to me because there's so much invested. You don't do MMA, you don't play MMA. It's you live that shit, and it's every day when I'm in fight camp, there's that face, there's that name, and there's 2 checks behind it. I gotta win. So you're thinking about this guy the whole time, and your whole life is revolved around one person, one fight for 8 weeks, and then you win that fight. You're like, fuck yeah. You lose that fight, and you're just like, you kind of go into a little depression. For me, I can only speak for myself. I kind of go into a little depression for a week. You kind of don't want to see anyone. Not that you had a horrible performance, but you're just kind of a little bit embarrassed, and you don't want to, that's just as real as I can put it to anyone, who doesn't know what it feels like. It's just terrible.
So on the flip side, how long do you feel good after a win before you start to feel kind of hungry again?
Either until you feel fat because you've been eating like a baller the whole time, or you get that next fight.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm a better human being when I'm in fight camp.
Oh yeah.
Because
I'm
on schedule, and I really believe in karma. So like I want to live the best life possible in that 8 weeks, and not do anything to fuck up my karma going to the fight. Like I don't believe in luck or any of that other stuff, because anything can happen.
Right.
But
you're starting to tip your waitress a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Yeah,
Say, an extra $5. Just like try to do the good things.
Didn't you give a $100 tip to a single mother waitress?
Yeah.
On
It was Christmas,
reason,
and not no reason. It was Christmas, and she was just like she didn't have Christmas with her kids in the morning. I was like, that's got to be a horrible feeling not to wake up to your mom or your kids on Christmas. So I gave her $100 for a tip.
There you go. What's it like to have a little bit of money now? You guys were talking about being broke and being pieces of shit in the past.
It's good. Life is. When you don't have to worry about gas or cell phone bills or anything like that, life is not as hard as it seems.
It's the funny shit. It's like the little things. Like I used to go and fucking be like, oh shit, I'm like scrounging up change to just put gas in.
And you're like, bam, found $5 in my pocket, bitch.
Yeah.
Premium.
Exactly. Or like checking your debit card before you fucking went to Wendy's or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I can get the meal. Oh, I have to get 99-cent menu or whatever. Like just little shit like that. Like. I don't even, like, people ask me what gas prices are, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know. I just have to go and fill the damn car up.
And filling up your tank is a luxury.
Like, filling up. Like, I would never filled up my tank
drop tens
before.
on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it costs like $100 or something to fill up, if you have a big car.
So, yeah, it's little shit like that, but I mean, for me, it's awesome. I don't know. I'm not, like, I don't know. It's weird because I'm not all that like driven by money and stuff. I love like my quality of life, and I think it's great, and I've met some great people, and I couldn't imagine my life.
But it didn't matter to you much before. It doesn't matter to you.
It wasn't huge. It's crazy. Everyone wants money, and you want to do stuff, and you want to live a good life, but it's crazy. Like I was never one of those guys. Like I just need to be fucking rich. Like obviously, I want to be successful and get money. I want to make people proud and take care of the people around me. But the actual like money part of it was never just like a crazy thing. I just wanted to be happy and live a good life, and that's going to make you happier. I'm doing what I love, where I like to think, hey, even if I didn't make as much money, I would love it just the same.
It brings a lot of balance,
because of what I'm doing, But other than that, it's just great not to worry about it. Like things for me that mean the most to me is like taking care of my family and my mom, just being able to pay some bills for her, fly her to places she hasn't been before, buy her a nice dinner when we are in Vegas and where she can't believe it, like, oh my God, I'm eating, a $30 steak. I'm just like, yeah. Or, but it's like,
yeah, go for it, Mom.
Cool. Yeah, eat $80. You get the $100 one, yeah. Like stuff like that, and just seeing her and have new experiences, and just being able to have that security to like help people, when they do need it, if someone from my family or anyone I can help. So, other than that, it's the other things in life that, make it good, just trying to be smart with the money. Like I have 2 houses, I have one in here and one in Vegas, and like getting married, it's just nice to know like there's not as much worries, you know what I mean? Like that's the main thing to me is just like, yeah, I can get married. Oh, we can do this. We can get what we want at the wedding. I can have a reliable car, I can have a nice place to live. I can fucking go eat out every day.
So Joseph's got, I don't know, probably 4 more bonuses. It's like $50,000 a piece more than I do. So we're a little bit different scales, but the same thing. And now that I have the Pilates studios that are coming in, the supplemental income, that's what I'm really trying to work for, because I'm getting towards the end of my career. I'm getting older and older, and knowing and having that kind of safety net, like, well, I got money coming in no matter if I'm fighting.
Yeah, what's
or not.
next, kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes me feel good. But on the flip side, the same thing what people don't know at home is every January 1st is a bitch because we get paid like contract workers. So if you don't budget your money, let's say you make 40 and 40 at the end of the year, I mean, you fight 3 times, you're looking at 300,000 with no taxes paid on that.
Right.
So that's like the part where you're just like, well, what the hell am I going to do now? You're trying to find every single write-off you can. Oh, yeah, there's that one time I paid for parking in San Francisco, like trying to add up all these numbers so you're not giving the government a ton of money. And
My dad does taxes, by the way.
He does
There you go.
some big names out there too. We'll mention off air. That he could probably help you guys out. He's a genius.
If you ever need it,
Yeah, well,
he's there.
you know, I got an extension right now, so.
What about my guy Tag? Is he over at Ultimate Fitness? Jeremy?
Yeah, Tag. He's doing other
seen Tag in a while,
businesses now.
Tag is the guy I learned to lift weights from in high school.
No way.
Me and Tag had the same trainer.
That's legendary.
He played football at the time.
Yeah,
and
Tag's a man.
He was a beast. I held a bag from. I've never fought anything in my life. I'm a pussy, but he was just getting into fighting, and I held the bag for him. He was like dropping knees or something, like putting me through the fucking wall. At that time, I don't know what he is now, but then he was probably like 245 pounds. And just fucking whooping my ass around this aerobic room. Yeah, he's nuts. Yeah, he's bald, big old fucking beard.
He just has that look. You just
he's an ass kicker. Yeah,
he's a sick fuck.
Yeah, he was a freak. He played at Louisville.
Yeah, I think he was a linebacker.
Yeah, won 2 rings there, and then
played in the league for a little bit.
I think he
he?
retired.
I think so.
He retired last year, and now he's got a business on the side, and he's got a fiance and a son. And
That's great. I probably haven't seen him in like 10 years.
Well,
8
you would
years.
recognize him if you
He looks
see him,
the
'cause
same.
He looks the same.
Yeah, that's
exact
great.
same. He's the same.
Yeah, I
dude.
drove him to some little fighting place like way before Ultimate. He needed a ride, and he like hopped in my '79 Mercedes piece of shit car.
Sick.
I drove him to some place. You're kind of familiar, somewhere in Carmichael. I don't know what it was. He just started fighting. He's like, "Fuck, I'm strong. I'm big. Here I go."
Yeah, and he got in the game when it was way back then where they weren't getting paid anything. And like you said, like when I go to a fight, I got not an entourage, but I got my coaches, all my buddies with them.
Yeah.
You got
just
a fucking bus taking you over there?
Yeah, you're just like lined up here. Here's some meal money just in case you get hungry on the way. And he just jumped in your car like, yeah, take me to the fight. Like it's crazy the way it's changed so much. Like even the small shows, like now they're not even getting paid.
Yeah.
They're fighting for ticket sales.
That's what. Yeah.
Which is insane. No money at all.
Keith
So
Jardine was telling us a little bit about that. How the pay is a little rougher now.
if you don't, I mean, because there's so many people that want to do it,
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys get the same thing. I mean, with each social media, like they see your social media. Oh, I'm going to be the next Mark Bell, and I'm going to do all this and jacked and tan. Like, no, you're not, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you just got an Instagram account. You're a fucking little bitch. You never put in a day.
Oh,
of
why are
work
you
in
talking
your
to
life.
Joseph like that? Just because he got his Instagram. Just because he got his Instagram a couple weeks
You hurt his feelings.
But I mean that's just how it is in any sport with anything you do in life.
What do you guys feel about social media? How important is it to you? You have the income coming in from UFC, but you pretty much get paid for the fight only. Is that correct?
Fighting sponsors.
Yeah.
Right,
Fight
right.
win sponsors.
So
and
you
then,
need something afterwards, and the more popularity you have through social media, you guys think that helps? And
Yeah,
I think it does, man.
I think you want to monetize all the shit that the UFC gives. Every time the UFC tweets your name or does anything, you're going to see a ton of followers. Or they put a highlight of one of your old fights, you're going to see like 50. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Paige Van Zandt, she's one of the girls on our team. We have eight fighters in the UFC and one girl.
Maybe more.
And she's just 115 pounds, pretty blonde, real blonde. Like she got one fight in the UFC. She had, I think, 2,000 followers. She shot up to 80,000.
Yeah,
She
that's
had
powerful.
another.
She fought on
we got to
Pass.
fight in the UFC, Mike.
She didn't even fight on TV.
She has more followers than you. How do you feel about that?
Dude, huge.
She just had
more
another
followers than
fight.
everybody.
She had another fight on national TV. I think it was Fox Sports 1. It was 2 girls. I mean, what they were wearing, their butts were in the air, like their legs were open. Boom! The next day, 80,000 followers. So she's probably at 200,000 right now.
Right.
And for her, with that, what she needs to do, I mean, I'm not going to tell her what to
Right.
do with her, but she needs to come up with a Paige Van Zandt shirt or
something
and starts monetizing that, because you're not. I mean, the window's that small, and like we were talking about it earlier, like you may only have 3 fights.
Yeah.
So you got to really get on that social media. I mean, it helps, but at the same time, you know, you get those guys, you get those trolls, and you got to listen to everything you
Right.
tell them about
how negative it gets.
Yeah,
How-
anyone can tell you anything, and you know.
And that's what
you're gonna
sucks
see it,
because
you're gonna
back in
read
the
it.
day, like 15, 20 years ago, no one would say that shit to
Yeah,
you.
you'd have
You
to
would
s-
never hear it because if you said it, then that means you'd have to get your ass whipped.
Yeah, you'd have to tell Chuck Liddell to
means-
his
yeah.
face.
Yeah, you Chuck Liddell, you're a little bitch.
That
Like,
means you have to be
now
a
I can-
real fucking
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So that's the kind of thing I don't like about it, but it's entertaining. I love it. The memes, like I like following you guys, watching the things that you guys are doing, and it just keeps me in the world. When I'm so busy doing other shit, you jump on the gram before you go to bed, or when you're taking a shit, and
Yeah.
you're just gonna
Yeah.
scroll down
It's a fucking way of life, dude.
and
It's
see
crazy.
and see what's going on. And I've tried to do it. Like I'm not going to touch it for a week.
Yeah.
But it's just like, damn, what did I
Or
do
like
before
for this lunch and shit, but you look at lunch and everyone's on their phone.
You got to
But,
post
like,
your lunch.
But
Yeah.
that's
People
yeah.
want to see it.
That's
But that's how the conversation leads to at lunch. You're on your phone, everyone's on it until, oh, did you guys see this shit?
No,
How
let me see
about
that.
this?
Dude, you
Yeah,
see what
and
she
then
was
everyone
wearing?
starts
You're like,
talking
oh,
about it.
check
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah, and like business wise, it's fucking free advertisement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're out there getting to advertise yourself to people that are already interested in you and what you have to say. So I think it's cool. And then, you know, as far as fans and everything go, just having them be able to relate to you.
There's
you
an
know,
outlet.
Talk back to them. Let you know what you're interested in, because a lot of fighters, a lot of fans just go see this fucking guy in the cage. They never heard him talk, what he thinks, what he likes, what he does. You know what I mean? That's
Joseph
all
ha-
they see. So
Joseph has a crazy taste in music, so he'll post like a record album, and people will go nuts. Like, Joe, that's why you're my favorite fan. You're my
Right.
favorite
You listen
fighter
to that?
because
That's
you
sweet.
listen to Led Zeppelin. Like, oh my god, I love you, man. We're perfect. We're the same dude.
Yeah.
And actually,
We're
you're not the
perfect
same
for
dude.
each other.
We need to get together.
We listen to the same Led Zeppelin song. Yeah, that's about it. But I mean, to them,
Right.
you eat the same breakfast. Is it something that and be like, oh my god, we ate the same breakfast. I'm gonna go hit some fucking sumo deads, right? You know, but
it's great to give people a chance to see more than just the fucking dude fighting in the
Yeah.
cage. You know,
People
Oh,
want
he
to
fucking has
identify
a
with you
dunk.
somehow. They want to find that common
Exactly.
ground.
Yeah.
like
They
that
wanna
fighter
relate
has
to you.
that fighter has that little ass dog. That tough guy has that little dog.
Yeah.
I have a little ass dog too. I'm not gay. Nice. Yeah, stuff like that. You know.
Because they needed that validation. They needed it from
Yeah.
you.
Well, I don't know. You know. I say that as in like whatever. You know, people use as gay now, not necessarily homosexual.
Homosexual.
Yeah.
We've
It's
already,
just- you
we've
just
already
say it.
protect our
Yeah,
back
we-
100
yeah,
times.
yeah,
People hate us.
exactly.
You know what I mean? You just
It's
you
in
don't-
the
It doesn't
vocabulary.
mean that.
No.
Yeah.
So what do you guys like to do outside of fighting?
Yeah, like Danny, you mentioned like you have a couple weeks before you really
Besides
get into
porn.
Besides porn.
Yeah.
Besides tranny porn or granny porn?
yeah. Besides any form of
Right.
pornography.
The TNG granny
Granny porn.
That would be
That's
way
what
too
we
weird.
need.
That's-
That would be.
There's an
sick.
investment for
Can
you
we
guys.
see if
Granny,
that
granny.
can we pull that up right now? Is there anything granny tranny?
There's
porn?
not
Oh
many
no!
tranny
Don't
grannies
don't.
walking around.
Okay, you got to go to the
Last thing you
incognito window
Googled.
to do that. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
last thing you
appear.
Google. Whip out your phone, guys.
Last thing you
Last thing you
Googled.
Googled. What'd you Google?
For me, fun is it's.
Oh,
just
what do we Google?
Yeah, check your
Hey,
phone.
you gotta
the,
get it.
the
Yeah.
life that I.
Oh yeah, they
I'll do it.
exist.
Play the game. What's the last thing you Googled?
My battery's
Oh,
dead.
busted.
I'm safe for this
Oh,
one.
look at that! Look at
I'm
that!
safe for
Here we
this
go.
one.
Mine's probably some dumb shit. Well, this isn't fun because it's fucking. I had to call a place to make shirts, so it's just Cotton Shop.
God
But let me look
damn.
at some history.
That's not that. Oh,
History's what
What's
it's
up,
all
Colin?
about.
yeah. What's
Granny tranny
what's your
porn
history? Tell
videos.
us.
It's
They-
a thing.
They exist. I'm not going to.
Funny enough, fucking, I was googling Boogie Night images for some fucking reason.
Ah, hey now.
Duran lyrics, Outcast lyrics,
You like to rap along
Outcast.
with what's going
Godfather
on?
theme song, fucking bunch of crazy shit.
You're off the team.
Yeah, that's about it.
No,
Yeah.
skip over that.
What do you guys?
I was like, wait, something cool's gonna come up. I got fucking Nirvana, fucking YouTube.
I heard there's a good documentary on
on
Kurt Cobain. I haven't seen it yet.
That's why I'm fucking googling Nirvana.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
check that shit out.
I saw
It
a
was
part
sick.
of it. It's good.
I saw
It's
parts
really
of
good.
it.
It's super like artsy, and it's like very, very intimate. Is in the way where it's not someone just talking about Kurt Cobain and like random interviews that everyone in the world was gonna see anyway.
Yeah.
It's home footage, and it's literally entries from his diary. So it's just very, very intimate.
Oh,
Get in his head a little bit.
Audio
Yeah,
recordings
it's
that
fucking,
he did.
It's eerie, man. Yeah, audio recordings. Like if they do have audio recordings, they'll like make like a. It's kind of cool and artsy and just very different in a way where like they'll make like an animated fucking Kurt Cobain and like have his voiceover
Oh, that's
and
cool.
stuff of him
And then
talking.
his like his signature or his written language like on the screen.
Yeah.
It's just so cool seeing his entries, like just the smallest word or 2 words can just be deep because like that's what he was feeling and he wrote at the time. So I thought that was cool. It was very intimate. The montage, it's called Montage of Heck, which he made a mixtape like that. But so the montages kind of go with it because the theme or the title, but there's some crazy montages too in there that are cool and like make
He
it
likes
super
movies,
artsy.
man.
I do.
He's just
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
Maybe top 3 or something like that.
Taxi Driver?
Taxi Driver's up there. I love De Niro, so Raging Bull's probably maybe my favorite.
Raging Bull's pretty awesome.
Raging Bull's just sick. I love it.
I haven't seen it.
I saw it in the
That's
theater.
that's
you
a
I'm
good.
the
That's a
worst. I'm
good.
the worst. I
That's a
told
Did you
you.
see it in the theater?
Yeah,
back
when
in the
it
day?
first came out. Yeah.
Wow.
Way.
That's
1980.
a good fight film. You know.
Yeah.
It is
That's really
good,
cool.
but it's really, I mean, it's cool too because you can almost look at it. It relates to so much more like life. It's just
Yeah.
a man going up, down,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and then just
Peaks
trying to
and
find
valleys.
himself. Yeah. You know
Peaks
what I
and
mean?
valleys.
Like some people don't even think about like when you think of boxing movies, like some people don't think like Raging Bull, and like if someone asks like Raging Bull or Rocky, it's just kind of like I don't feel like it's really a boxing movie almost. It's almost more life. But speaking of that, Rocky 1, also
good.
a boxing movie, one of my favorite movies because it transcends like it's not just boxing, it's
Right.
like life. The ultimate loser, underdog ever. Taxi Driver's up there. Boogie Nights is actually probably
Yeah.
like my 3rd or 4th favorite movie, and then you got the normal Godfather.
Dude, it's going to change your life.
I know. I gotta go see Raging Bull and Boogie Nights now.
Modern day, I like Boogie Nights. There Will Be Blood is
Yeah.
another one that I really love. I thought
Another
that's
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Another Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
He's like my favorite director.
Have you ever listened to the DVD commentary on Boogie Nights with Paul Thomas Anderson?
Probably
No.
your special
It's-
features, probably.
I don't have the DVD. I just have it electronically.
VHS.
No, I have. Oh, that would be sick.
It's probably the best DVD commentary ever.
He's a genius.
Ever,
that guy.
ever.
Yeah. You got to watch Boogie Nights, dude.
I'll go right now.
Yeah, it's probably my 3rd favorite. The only obscure movie that I like that most people probably won't know about, that's probably like in my top 5, is it's a movie called The King of Comedy, and it's also Robert
it's
De Niro and Scorsese.
And
that's a genius.
What's
Jerry
his name?
Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, that movie's sick, and it's like
I'll have to check it out. It
it's
sounds
like
cool.
it's like a freaking lighthearted, more so like Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver's just crazy, like
Yeah.
outcast sociopath. Like it's like him with like kind of charming and like his like fucking weird charming brother. It's fucking trippy. It's good. But anyway, I'll go all day.
We got time for maybe one or two more questions.
all day.
What do you guys think about Reebok's involvement? That's kind of shaking things up a little bit. What do you guys think about that?
I'm happy about it, but that's only because I got 22 fights.
Yeah.
So I hit the top tier in the sponsorship money. And
Right.
For the
they're paying like more money for people to have more fights, correct?
So the way it breaks down is there's a certain amount. 1 through 5 fights, you get the certain amount of pay. 6 through 12, you get a certain amount of pay. 12 through 20, you get the certain amount
Right.
of pay, and then 21 and up is when you get the highest amount of money. Unless you're a champ. The champ gets a certain amount of money, and the contenders get a certain amount of money. So
The contender meaning fighting the guy for the title only
Right.
in that fight.
So when I heard this, I was just like, great. Now what? I mean, now I'm just going to lose out on money. But in actuality, I fall under the highest paid sponsor.
Right.
And it
So
doesn't eliminate other sponsor potential either, right?
No, not at all. And so what that's cool for me is I was dealing with these managers. I mean, that's another aspect that probably the listeners don't know is you got to pay your manager 10% of your fight, which they do nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have
They
to
do-
pay a middleman to negotiate some of these deals outside of
Yeah, exactly.
Sponsorship
so
and so on.
10% of that fight. So you win, and if you lose and win, you go 10% of that check goes to them, and then 20% of the sponsorship money that they bring in goes to you. I was having managers who weren't really giving me that much money. I mean, enough for me to cover, their fees for the fight checks and the sponsorship checks. So I was just like, man, this sucks. And then I found out that.
So Reebok kind of handles it now.
Yeah, so not only that, I mean, there's a couple times where I've had sponsors who I fought twice before I even got the money from 3 fights ago. So, I leave it up to my manager. It's like, what's up, dude? You're going to let them, it's in what, you booked them under a net 60? And I mean, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
6 months I got to wait for my money?
Right.
And then, but you get paid right away. So with that eliminates that problems because Reebok says that you'll get your money within 10 to 12 days. So that's another thing. I'm just like, wow, I never even experienced anything like that ever as a professional. But this fight I just signed, I'll be fighting July 25th. the matchmaker directly just emailed me. He's like, "Hey, are you being represented by anyone?" I'm like, "No." And then, an hour later, he sent me the fight date, the fight card, and who I'm fighting. And then I replied, "Okay," and that was it. So normally, that's
You're paying someone 10% to email you some shit.
10%. I mean, you're looking at $7,000 he would have got just for
To
that
email it to you and say, hey, can you get this back?
You need a manager? I'll do that.
Well, I mean, now I don't need a manager, and it's a good thing.
Right.
But, for people who make a whole lot of more money than I do, who are just huge popular, have a big fan following, and they only had 3 fights, like that sucks for them. But for someone like me who's been putting in work for a long time, who doesn't have that big name and is not in the top 10, it works out justifiably, I think, in my opinion, because I've been working so hard for 8 years for this company. 21 fights is unheard of, and I've been doing it, so that's kind of a little pat on the back for me. Like, fuck, yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they really care about their fighters a little bit.
When we talked earlier, you two mentioned every other sport has a rookie minimum and a rookie maximum and a vet minimum. It kind of makes sense that it's kind of put out that way.
Start off, for us, you're talking to 2 guys that are happy with the deal. There's other guys out there that aren't. But I think it's cool they supported, they went with the longevity aspect of it, because like you said, most sports will do that. The guys that have gone 12 years to the NFL, they have more retirement and everything too. So yes, it's not retirement, but we're getting paid more because we've been there longer. So the guys just coming in, hey, you have to start here. You know what I mean? Like right now, guys are pretty much getting sponsors by popularity,
right?
Which is cool, and who they know and everything like that. So it's kind of cool they did it with longevity, because that's kind of like other sports. But you're talking to guys that are
You're talking about 2 OGs. We've been with Zuffa for
we're OGs
6 years. That's
so we're happy
time.
with it. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of guys out there that are losing money. But
but not everybody can be happy with everything.
Yeah, exactly. But moving forward, I think it's the right move for the sport, and just to legitimize it, even more so. So at the end of the day, like if we would have started like this at the very beginning, if the UFC started just like anything else had just started, and this was the sponsor, like
with no manager, I think
that'd be cool. That'd be all you know. Yeah, so I think it's cool. There's obviously a lot.
That's
of guys
a weird
that
side of the sport. Like you may not quote unquote need a manager, but you kind of need a manager because you don't have that.
Things,
you don't want to deal with all that fucking bullshit. You want to fight. You want to concentrate on all the things that you have to do to prepare for that fight.
And if you have a hungry go-getter manager, he could probably talk to Joe Silva, the matchmaker, like, well, how about this fight? This fight seems a little bit better for the fans, a fan favorite, and he could get you out of a tough fight and get you an easy fight. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's the UFC who decides everything. Right. So I don't care how cute you are or how charming you are. You're not going to – if they want something, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
And
they
you
pretty
have to
much
follow
send
it.
you it. Yeah. Say, hey, you're fighting this guy, and you say yeah or no. And the cool thing with this is you can still have sponsors outside of Reebok. It's just not fight week or – for the fight, obviously, but you can still represent stuff like we were talking about on social media, which is huge, and this is another thing I feel some people don't get is everyone wants to do this and that, but I feel there's more of an impact almost on social media.
Yeah, it's your daily life
stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're already going to get stuff out to relate to you. So it's just going to make different sponsors and different managers and stuff kind of step up as like, all right, do we really going to represent these guys? And for the manager, like, hey, are we really going to go out and find some stuff? Or are we just going to give up and say, hey, there's no more sponsors. They all are going to get Reebok. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, I think it's, like I said, it's just the right thing, like moving forward.
You guys have anything you want to plug on your way out here? Why don't you just tell us where your Instagram and Twitters are and shit like that?
I don't want to leave if that's a thing.
No, you got to get out.
Can we see what
training for before I got some bad news for you guys. This isn't really a casting couch episode of the PowerCast. I apologize.
I was chubbing myself up down here after this thing.
You guys may not be aware of this, but I try to relay this message to all. The internet is for more than just pornography.
There's other things going on.
Yeah, you can do other stuff on the internet. There's like email. Yeah, there's other things. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Check it out. Just look it up. Yeah, there's a thing called Google. You can search for stuff. Yeah.
When you when you're sitting there talking with friends about like who did this, and who did that, or what was that one person, and you're just like, why the fuck are we talking about it?
Fucking
Google that shit.
Boom.
Why speculate?
I think it changed everything. Like the
Why
the
speculate?
girls and everything. I think having access to being able to look at porn anytime you want, even for girls, is desensitize women, so they're more open to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
They gotta
sure.
show-
So
they
the
gotta-
younger girls are a lot crazier than the older girls, and that's exciting.
Hey, that's good for everybody.
For a dirty old man like Castillo.
yeah.
Those of you who are listening, just listening, Danny's smile was worth about $1 million.
Thanks for having me. I had a great time lifting, not only lifting, but eating that food and bullshitting with you guys. You guys are great, and thanks for having us. And my Instagram is lastcall155. Same thing with Twitter. I have a hot Pilates studio, so if you're local, we're in P and 20th, and we got a lot of good things going
That's
there.
downtown Sacramento,
How hot
California.
is it?
It's we're not 108, 100. We're 95, but there's a little bit of humidity.
But a lot of yoga pants.
Is
There's a lot
it
of-
moist?
So we're 94%
Moist is a
female.
nice word.
Wow. Hey now.
Our listeners are like 94% guys, so we're about to switch a ratio around.
I'm seeing a bunch of influx of just dudes. Like,
Gross
just here for
dudes.
the trial. Just 7 days, right? Here.
Are you the main trainer over there?
Well, I run the kettlebell class.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
So we have kettlebells, TRX. We have booty bar, bikini butt class.
Hey now.
Mike?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Huh?
I'm ready.
So it's kind of cool. I mean,
That's awesome.
I enjoy it. I'm really trying to get more guys in there, only because the money sense.
Right.
But I mean, right now I go in the gym and it's just 94% female.
Right.
Who are in shape.
Sucks.
It sounds so disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm never going.
I hate Lululemon.
Yeah.
They ruined your whole business.
But that's it, man. The team, again, if you're in Sacramento or you're anywhere on the world and you like MMA, definitely follow our team. And, we're the best, one of the best.
Yeah, go in
we
their
are the
gym and
best
get your ass
Oh,
kicked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, guys. This is awesome. Just awesome that I met you guys. Thanks for supporting me, Mark. With the slingshot, I'll be repping at UFC 187. First time in the gym, sure, first of many. And, obviously try out the slingshot product. I know that's why you guys are here anyway, and the protein was awesome and everything. So I just want to thank you guys for having me and representing me and having the faith and the support, man. It's good
Not
stuff.
a problem. We're behind you guys all the way, and good luck
yeah.
in your next fight and everything.
The
So
protein
It's
through
gonna
the
be
meat straw? Or
what straw? Wait, what? A meat straw?
Meat day.
I didn't tell him to suck on the meat straw. That was kind of our That was
How's your guys' thing?
Danny. We'll talk about it more later. Anyway, I think that's it. May multiply
guys
your
rule.
hustle, multiply your muscle. May all your shits be tapered, and that's it from me. Bitches.
You can find him at Mark Smelly Bell. I'll plug him for you guys. What's your Instagram, Joseph?
Instagram at Jojitsu, same as Twitter.
There you go. Check it out, guys. I'm Silent Mike with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm Jim McD, STTV, on
STD,
Instagram and
what?
Twitter.
STD. That's
Yeah.
That's our next supplement.
Actually-
D3 supplement.
Actually,
way.
But how great would that be?
that would be sick.
Back in the day when we got our first ST shirts, somebody asked what that was, what that stood for. We said sexually transmitted. So
Perfect.
that really happened.
Well, you need to have an arrow pointing down.
They were pointing down. Yeah. Well, it was. I'll have to pull up the old image at some point. It looked like a
In the
tattoo
Superman-
artist
in the
designed the
Superman,
first
right?
one, and but it pointed like down. Yeah, it looked like a dick. Anyway, okay. So follow the show on Instagram at Mark Bell's PowerCast, Facebook.com/SuperTrainingGym, and somewhere else SuperTraining.tv. Check us out. Talk to you soon.
Subscribe to Power Magazine at thepowermagazine.com. If you choose the digital edition, you can catch up on all the great back issues, take your training to the next level with Slingshot products and howmuchyobench.net, and look for BSN products including NO Explode at bodybuilding.com. Mark Bell's PowerCast is a production of supertraining.tv.